fragrance. So when I open my window, when Mary would open my window, the first thing we breathe in is the beautiful fragrance of jasmine. Not petrol, not gas, not soot, not chimney tops or factory chimneys, but fresh fragrance of jasmine. And it looks so beautiful, so pure white flowers. Only just finished. As Mara's book. That was perfect timing. We shouldn't be astonished anymore. We should know Baba by now. And yet we're amazed every time. You know, we call it Mara's season after she went to Baba. Oh, a butterfly just flew with me. Oh, look. Oh, can you get that? Can you get that? That's the hoopoe. Oh, just this morning I said I haven't seen them go for some time. That's a striped bird, that royal looking bird with a long deck.
Yeah.
Isn't it beautiful? You know, have you read The Conference of the Birds?
Mm-hmm.
He is in that. That's the bird in The Conference of the Birds. There's a crown and the stripe on the wings, and it walks regally like with a cape on. Oh, he's so beautiful. I love him. Made me forget my thought totally. Yeah, so after Mary went to Baba, I mean, she must have put in a word for her garden and her father, because such lovely rains we've had after years of drought and the water level down so deep that our wells and all are just drying up. And then after Mary went, we have this beautiful rainfall, and overnight the trees seem to go up, shoot up, and the flowers just plentiful. And wildflowers, we haven't seen wildflowers in such carpets for a long time. And streams bubbling down Seclusion Hill, right there. So when I went for the walk once, Meryl persuaded me at last to go. And it's so lovely. So we call it Mera's season now.
Honey, Peter just told me a very interesting thing. He said that, remember how you were talking about Baba's hand on the tree?
Yeah.
And then Baba's face that was the tree it appeared on. Well, now one of the things that's very prevalent in the West is people dealing with alcoholism and addiction. And Alcoholics Anonymous is a very, very big and very supportive group in the States now. And Peter just told me that it was founded by a very small group of people who met in this hotel in New York in the early 30s, the same time Baba was staying in that hotel.
Really?
This is what somebody told me the other day.
Baba was where?
In New York.
Yeah. What, that Dalmani thing?
Well, in the early 30s, no.
But the early 30s?
Yeah, the night. See, they were staying in this hotel, and it came up as, I'm not too familiar with it, but it's either a 12 or a 14-point program. Steps. It's 12. And the first two steps. Step one is to admit I have a problem. Step two is that I need the help, or that I can't handle it alone. I need the help of a higher power. They kind of left it non-denominational. The higher power does not have to be God. It doesn't have to be anything. It can be a tree. It can be a rock.
Oh, I see.
But I cannot do it. I need help from a higher,
greater force.
And to relate it to even in living things.
Whatever you want to relate it to.
Whatever you want to relate.
Whatever you want to relate it to.
Very interesting.
And so the night that they were in the hotel, they had this inspiration. Baba was staying in the hotel that very night.
Amazing.
And it's, as I was saying, it's very much like a Baba meeting. I mean, their meetings have that kind of feel.
Right.
I mean, one of the reasons,
But that's interesting, because now when I think of it, how Baba, when sometimes he'll be walking up the hill at Meherabad or somewhere, and Baba's the speed, without haste, or, but he's stride. So, in the middle, without slowing down, he would bend down, pick up stone, throw it, and keep walking. This was part of his walk. Or he would suddenly pick up a stone, hold it in his hand for a while, and then fling it somewhere. We knew it meant something, but we were not so keen to know. We had Baba, we had everything. But that too, with inanimate things like stone. And sometimes we would pick up a twig. I still have a twig that we picked up in Mamblasha that looks like a dragon, things like that. So the tree, that's very interesting.
What, did you read that in one book or something?
Somebody at the center in South Carolina, Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
I heard that just a few months ago. But the thing that I thought was typical, I instantly thought of the story, and I can't remember the names, but the story that Baba gave. Who was the lady when they were going across the United States and they had the car accident? All right.
Elizabeth Patterson.
Well, the lady who was, and I could be getting the facts of the story mixed up.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible, but I like it this way.
That's fine. Yeah.
The lady,
I can tell you.
the lady who was driving the second car.
Oh, the man was driving.
No.
Sarosh was driving the second.
Who did Baba? It was my understanding that.
The one who did the flower,
Yeah.
That's Elizabeth. The driver of the first car. That's where we
Okay, the driver of the first car.
Mera, myself, Meru,
we were in the back.
yeah.
Okay.
We three were in the back seat. Baba and Elizabeth were in the front seat. And the story of how Baba in 1932.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know how that happened? They were all standing around Baba. This is from where Elizabeth told us. And this was very early. I think it was in Harmon on the Hudson. That person. Anyway, where was Baba? 32. So they were standing around Baba, and there were this grass and wildflowers and flowers, and so they went forward and were picking up these flowers. But Elizabeth just stood by Baba and didn't move. So Baba so typically turns to her and says, don't you want to go pick flowers? She said, no, Baba dear, I'd much rather be with you. So then, Baba walks over, picks up a flower for her. What she gave up for him, he gives to her. He picks up that flower and gives it to her himself and says, keep it and write the date. Remember? So she said, yes, Baba dear. And she goes and she puts that flower in the family Bible. I believe, from what I remember her saying, that it had a beautiful carved wooden cover. The Bible was covered. She put it in there and she put the date in there. And the date was 24th of May 1932. And 30 years later, 20 years later, after the accident happened, she remembered the date because she had to sign the insurance people's papers all the time. 24th May 1952, 24th May 1952, and she had to put so many signatures and so many forms that the insurance people kept asking her to sign. Because she had put an insurance on, I think, the passengers in the car, whatever it was. Well, nothing clicked then. But a long time later, when she was moving to the center, she was at that time, when we went back after the accident, we stayed at her parents' house called Ripondune, right in front and right by the ocean. We could look out at the ocean, we could walk over to the ocean. And when we came away, then Elizabeth was now moving to the center. She had put everything into the center. Her heart, her resources, herself, for Baba. Baba had asked for that center, and she put everything in it, wholeheartedly. So this also was, I think, sold, and then she was moving over to the center where the Dilruba was. So then there was a lot of packing to be done. She was now better, she was walking about, she had healed. So then, while she was, the books were being brought from the cellar and she casually opened the family Bible, the nostalgic way one day. When she opened it, she saw the flower and she saw the date, 24th May 1932. And she remembered the date because she signed it again and again and over again. 24th May, 1952. Only one figure had changed. 3 into 5. That's what Baba had given her the day. And she said, any little feeling she may have had in her heart that maybe this needn't have happened, maybe I could have, what with me. Baba was telling her plainly, look, I was telling you 20 years ago this was to happen. Don't be you, woman, it's me. Isn't that lovely to say? I love it. And also so typical of Baba that he goes forward and picks up a flower to give to Elizabeth because she gave up doing that for him. Then he has to do it. Very much now. Perhaps because when I think of...
We think this might be Keeperville here.
Yeah.
Well, there was here. Little wings there.
It's so very useful.
Yeah.
Because when my father was walking in search of God, looking for Baba, had come to India and everywhere. So he walked bare feet everywhere. And the soles of the streets were that thick, horn, just like dead thing. And he was roaming all over India looking for God. And Baba once said to us so casually, once again, so unexpectedly, apropos of nothing, we were in the blue bus and we were going up to the foot of the Himalaya mountains, up in the mountains, Khat, Balochistan, that side. And the bus, this huge bus, was laboring, roaring, and going up, making such a... Baba suddenly turned around and said, see, it's so difficult to go up this incline. And we'd often said, yes, Baba, we were eating naan and onions and Baba said, but we're sitting in a bus that's comfortable. And said, my father walked all there looking for me. Just out of nowhere. Sometime in deserts in Gujarat, someone. Kutch, Kandla. My father had also been once. Well, we were in a train going by, but we had to keep all the windows tight shut because of the blast of hot sand coming through, So we were having fun. Ooh, look at that. Wow, we'd never want to live in a desert. I don't know how people like it. And Baba says, look, this is such hot wind, such hot wind, and it's so terrible. Yes. But we are safe in a train. But my father, he walked through the desert looking for me. I love that when you say it. But it's just suddenly said. Oh, I was holding it without moving. I thought it was a still camera.
From a distance, from over here.
This was the first picture.
It's even more apparent than when you get up close.
First picture of the tree on my little camera, and there, take the picture. And I thought it would come out one of the clearest. And so now you want to take a picture of the tree. This is the tree on which the image of Baba appeared. Very personally for Mera, it would seem. Because after Baba dropped his body, as I said in the beginning, we had no time for ourselves. It was just doing what Baba would want us to do, continuing. As Eris had made it clear, it's a continuity. We just continue to do what Baba wants us to do. But naturally, it was not easy. But after coming from Pune, we had a little time to ourselves so that we could indulge in our own personal feelings, agony, whatever. We were personally with him more for the first time since Baba dropped his body. But still Mary didn't have the heart to go out to the garden and do the things that she would usually do. So even for a walk, and we need a little exercise. So she would take a walk here. Mary would walk up to the tree window, back down there to the window of the dining room, from where also you see the image, and back and forth. So she'd have a walk inside. And I was in my bed. We always have shared a room, Mara and I. So I was on my bed doing something, watching Mara, walking up and down, taking a little exercise, and suddenly she stopped. This was after coming from Pune in 1969, July. It was in July that she did. And she suddenly stopped. She called me urgently. Mummy, come here. I said, yes. What do you see on the tree? You mean that squirrel? No, on the trunk itself. So then I had to look carefully, and sure enough, there was it was like a sculptor was etching the outline of Baba's face that he was working on, sculpturing a face, but that he had started to work on. And the size was perfect. I mean, a life size Baba's face and head would be. And I said, wow, Mera, this is wonderful. For Mera, it was an assurance from Baba, I'm here. I have not gone. I'm with you, Mera. Wherever you are, I'm here. For me, it was an answer to prayer. Because Mera had said, what do you think Baba would want us to do? He had never told us anything. Does he want us to continue to stay here, or should we go and live at Meherabad? And I said, no, Mera. He has formed this place. He had established his headquarters at Meherazad for so many years. He made this his home. He has seen to even every detail of the practical side of staying in Meherazad. He had the wells dug there. He would ask after the birds. He would ask Mera, which are the birds that are migrating? Which are the birds that belong here? He always was very particular that the garden servants, the gardeners, were never given any other work, that they put their attention to the garden. And he was interested in the flowers, the trees, the birds, the water, every aspect. I said, Mera, if he wanted us to be dead, he would have said it differently. He didn't say it in words, but he said it in actions. It was in my heart. I said, Baba, tell me, did I say the right thing? Please let me know. Have I said something that did not please you? So then when he saw the image, right here outside Mera's window, I was so happy. I said, Baba, that's my answer. Anyway, now to tell you the origin of the story, when the image appeared, little by little, it became more complete, till it was a perfect face. So I took a picture of the tree with my little camera at last. But in the beginning, when Mera asked me, I said, Mera, it won't come out. It was just, a suggestion of a face. But little by little, it was a perfect sculpture with the forehead in shape and the cheeks. It's a sculpture in short. So I said, and the moustache, where did that come from? It's a very light bark on the tree. So anyway, I took a picture and then sent it to Ahmed Naidoo for developing. And Adi Senior was the one at that time seeing to all our things. He was Baba's secretary then. So we sent it to him, and he sent it back, and the pictures were lovely. And so once when he came for some work, Goher asked him, Adi, how did you like the picture of the tree? Oh yes, you've done a good job. You did very well. We did? We haven't touched the tree. We have done nothing. Oh, he got so excited. He's the one that went and spread the news. Everybody was coming to see the tree. Now, remember, especially for the Hindus, this is a very special tree. This Audumba tree is a sacred tree depicting the Trinity, God of the Creator, Preserver, and Dissolver. the Trinity, they call Dattatreya. And anywhere where you see a little temple, they make a little temple of the god Dattatreya, it is always by this specimen of tree, the Audumba tree. So when they had on the Audumba tree, image of Meherabad is formed, so many came. Children, school children by the hundreds. We see them, the little feet pattering all the way in the dust, made such a cloud of dust that after they would leave for 2 hours, it was like a mist had formed in Meherabad garden of the dust from the little feet of the little children who had come to see this miracle to them. But so that was the first Rush Baba was sending. It was the opening of his home and his heart for all to come. Because so far we'd never seen any of the villagers or their children or the school. And so much so that they didn't even know, they weren't even sure of his name. So they would sing, and hundreds of little people at the top of their voices saying, Avatar Mehr Baba Ki Jai. We could hear it from a distance, from the village, that they're coming. But they would sometimes say, Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. And Avatar would say, no, not Meher, Meher. Then would go up, Meher Baba Ki Jai. So they were that new. And now, of course, they come every year. So we lost our privacy. This room of Mara's and mine, no longer would call our own. All the time, people and children and women, villagers or from Ahmednagar, and of course Babalabas, all our Babalabas, once they knew, they were coming all day, at any time they could walk into the room to see Baba's image on the tree. Now the image was so clear, so beautiful. I've heard Margaret say, when she came in 1970, after Baba dropped his belly, Margaret cried. She stand here, and she had the dancer's grace and all her gestures and postures, and she was talking to Baba. And we said, Margaret? She said, yes, he is so real as I see him. I want to talk to him. I feel like talking to him. And that clarity not only improved but stayed on for 9 years. And there were times when little signs would change. For instance, to begin with, definitely Baba had a crown on, and there was one part where the bark had come out, and it was in the shape of a peacock feather. So, that is what Krishna wore in his crown. I think you can see a bit of that in here. See? Mm-hmm. And this is the crown and the feather. Later, some years later, it was plain with the marks of a crown of thorns. Mera felt that suffering very much. And then it passed away, and then there was, but after 9 years, because it's a growing tree. At one time, a little piece of bark, especially the bark of the tree, that formed the nose. That part seemed suddenly to move with the breeze, and we realized that it was coming apart like the rest of the book come out, but it was coming out. It was falling out. It would soon be falling out. So most of them say, I went up to that, please, Baba. We will accept whatever you want, but this will help a lot. How if we lose your image on the tree, and so I said, Baba would want us to be practical. Maybe tomorrow if I go and something behind this bark, and so that it sticks to the tree, and at least it lasts for some time. Baba helped me, Baba. For the first time I was in my sleep, because I'm usually a heavy sleeper, a good sleeper. So early in the morning, when Mary was around, I quickly went to the tree. And what do you think I found? In the night, all of these insects had gone behind that little bark and woven in. It's not a spider, ordinary spider with that transparent web thread. It's white. It's milky white stuff. But if you get your finger on it, you just can't affirm that part what Baba has done. So now to go back to the and we found that the image was appearing again for us, very personal, because you couldn't see it in the daytime, like you can't see it now in the daytime. But in the evening time, when the sun is set and the light is different and the light in the room is there, so that lamp light is up there in the trees, that there should not be a light by the tree. But that light has made no difference in what we have seen. I tell you, where does the shadow of the moustache come from? There is nothing there. It's perfect, just up till here, and no more in the evening. So in the evening we still have Baba, and I'm feeling little by little in the daytime you will read. But what I really meant, history of it, and what shall we say, Baba silently was always just declaring. Often it was in silence, but in casual, natural ways. So Baba told us about this without our knowing it. That Baba provides before the need arises. Baba answers the questions before the questions come up. And this was 10 years before Baba dropped his body. And sometimes some visitor would come or somebody would come to see Baba, and Baba would take them round in the garden. And he would then be with the men. So Mehera and we could not be with Baba. So this lady called Johanna Smith, I believe from New York, it came about 10 years before, around that. I could look it up in the family letters somewhere. And Baba was showing her the garden. Now Mehera always wanted to see Baba, although she couldn't be with him. Where in the garden is he going? What does Baba like, especially in the garden? She will show to the lady, and of course just to see Baba. How does he go? How happy is any particular flower or particular tree? Is to be with Baba, but without being with him. So she would. She was here. She'd be and then when he was in class, I'd be standing. But at one time, I turned around to do something, and when I told her, she said, we're round in the garden with Johanna Smith, and Mehera would try to get just Baba, maybe alone. And so when I came, I said, look at your tree. I said, yeah. She said, Baba stood by it, and was told Johanna that he would tree. Baba did was, he put his hand on the tree, she said, she put his hand on the tree and turned to her and said, this tree I like. This tree I like. I said, are you sure? Why this tree? Because there are other trees much more beautiful. Another one of the same specimen was around there. I said, this tree? Oh yes, this tree. He turned to her and said, this tree I like. So when the hand that he put on the tree, see where the image of the face appears. And his face, I'll go out and show you, okay? You see, this is where the tree is. This is where the nose bark was at the tree. And it's here.